Assassin's Creed Shadows. Listen, I know a lot of people are going to have diverse opinions about this, but AC Shadows is literally, in my opinion, the only opportunity left that Ubisoft has to save whatever's left of Ubisoft's, reputation, if you want to call it that. Because I don't know what's left of it. They have been screwing up so much over the last few months and going on forward that I'm just gonna say this is not positive. These guys need to really, 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 really step it up. So why don't we kick it off? We're gonna watch um, a video from Gameranks. What I'll do is I will pop the link in the chat for you guys. There we go. I'll pop the link in the chat if you guys are interested in watching it on your own later on. And let's actually just enjoy it, guys.
Ubisoft needs a win. 2024 was not a good year for them financially. It was the year that the many of their less than popular design practices, when all those chickens finally came home to roost, it was the year that everyone finally decided to collectively turn on the company, and honestly, justifiably so.
I'm gonna just do something. I got a tip from somebody that says, okay, I did turn it down. Oop. One bad.
Fans have been complaining about the state of Ubisoft's formula for years.
Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path?
But for whatever reason, we're now at the point where those complaints have finally manifested into mainstream disinterest. Ubisoft games just aren't selling like
they... The thing about my opinion regarding this very particular topic is that what Ubisoft has been doing, they've been overbooking their games, full of collectible items, and you have
Yes, who?
Kelsey Henderson joined the Knights.
Hey, what's up, Kelsey? Thanks for joining the live stream. Yeah, well, we're talking about Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft dire situation. So, yeah, what can I say? They've overbloated their games to a level where my poor heart cannot handle what's going on anymore. They have been chipping away and destroying at the title. I love Assassin's Creed. I've played Assassin's Creed from the very first title. I've played, obviously, anyone that watches my my YouTube videos on what I do with Ghost Recon. I make stories and movies on Ghost Recon. Like that's like stuff I love to do, and it's a great game. I recently started playing Ghost Recon Wildlands again, just because it's kind of a fun game, underrated in my opinion, but very fun. And these are titles on the Ubisoft that I just feel the company is destroying.
they used to, which is a big problem for
All because they're trying to put you into this world where you have this open world with 20 billion things to do, but it's not engaging.
an outfit as big as Ubisoft is. They need to sell big numbers to keep their international chain of developers working at max capacity, and those sales did not happen in 2024. It's one financial disappointment after another. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Skull and Bones, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws, they all under...
That game. I didn't even try it. When I saw how it looked, and I know people are going to have different opinions on this, but it looked bad. It looked like a game from, honestly, it looked like a game from 2003. And that's the era of like games like Need for Speed Underground and the Underground 2. Like, those games look good compared to this. Like,
performed according to Ubisoft. And it's not necessarily that those are bad games. The Avatar game, surprisingly good. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown as well. I mean, it was kind of unfair to expect what they expected there, but it's a great game. The less said about Skull and Bones and Star Wars Outlaws, the better right now, though. The situation has been so bad, they're actually considering a buyout or selling the entire studio to whoever is There's a pretty big question mark on top of the new game about the oath that murderers take. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Gameranks we're going to talk about how much is riding on Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Everything. I'm gonna say it. Everything. This company's future relies on this game right now.
A lot. I mean, this game needs to be a success. Assassin's Creed is their premier franchise, and well, Valhalla may have been responsible for...
I don't think it's their premier franchise. I just think it's currently the only one that's proper selling. Because there's not much that's like Assassin's Creed.
For a lot of fans giving up on Ubisoft in the first place, it was without a doubt a massive hit. It sold over 20 million copies, and...
My wife is currently playing the game, and she loves it. I actually like it myself. It's a really good game.
Earned over $1 billion. That's a B in revenue. That game's success has been a double-edged sword. It made a lot of money, but I mean, for, I guess, lack of a better way of putting it, it also just bludgeons you with sort of endless content. I'm using the word.
Exactly. That's the one thing that irritates. You have like a billion things to do in, I think we've gotten to 2 maps right now. It's too much. It's just straight up too much.
Very deliberately here to convey what people think of the word content. I can see why, for a lot of people, enough was enough. It was a game where people were finally getting fed up with the Ubisoft formula, like full blown. The funny thing, I don't think Valhalla is bad at all. I think it's a good game. It's just really long, it's really bloated, and it's ultimately pretty formulaic. It wears out its welcome, I guess is the way to put it. To really enjoy Valhalla, you have to play it until you're sick of it, and then put it down for like a week, and then play it until you're sick of it, and then put it down.
We're literally doing that. My wife played it for like a weekend plus. Yeah, weekend plus. She stopped playing it. She has stopped playing it for the last like week plus.
For like a week. And you're going to do that at least twice. You're going to put it down for a week at least twice while playing it to really enjoy the game, which is not good. The game was an endurance test. It did not do enough to advance Assassin's Creed as a series.
And it looks incredible. I've actually wanted to just say Assassin's Creed games have always been pinnacle graphics. Amazing looking game.
Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new one, is supposed to be that evolution. The game where Ubisoft finally innovates their stale gameplay systems and updates all the tired cliches. I don't know if it's actually going to or not, but from all the previews going around and all the pre-release information, it does seem like Ubisoft really wants us to think of this game as a new beginning for the series. It's not just that Assassin's Creed Shadows desperately wants us back either. It needs us back. The future of the entire company is riding on this game. It has to make a splash or else. And there's a certain desperation around the release of this game that you usually do not see from Ubisoft. They pushed it back to March 20th in order to release the game with no competition.
That's common for Ubisoft. I mean, they have moved some games back a little bit due to people's personal concern or not happy with certain levels or looks, or even just, I think it was with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, where people actually said like, listen, it looks not right, and people were quite accurate in the beginning. The game looks amazing now and also plays amazing now, but didn't back then.
They're offering DLC with pre-orders. They're finally releasing day one on Steam again. The things the old Ubisoft would never do. Exactly. They knew they had your money, where they were 100% confident in their success. So
that's why Uplay is still one of their like things. Like I don't like Uplay. It sucks. Ubisoft Connect, or what it's called, Ubisoft Connect now. I hate it. It's the most annoying software ever, and I don't like it that I want to play video games. But I have to be on Steam, Ubisoft, EA, blah blah, and Xbox Live just to get the game. I don't like
release their games whenever they wanted.
Steam is fine. If you don't get it on Steam, Epic is also fine. But keep it to that level. It's getting out of hand. So no more.
Wherever they wanted. Expensive DLC passes be damned. in this new punished Ubisoft era, they're actually doing things people like. And while it's clearly all from a place of desperation, I mean, it's nice to see somebody learning the lesson. There's 100 different things I could point to right now of people who just refuse to learn the lesson. Just do what people want you to do and it'll work. So, I mean, to some extent, we do have to look at this as an aberrant situation. Desperation or no, I don't really care why. They're doing what we want them to do, at least. So let's at least hear them out. One thing they're trying to do is show they're pretty serious about PC support. On top of just straight up releasing the game on Steam day one, they recently put out a trailer specifically to show off all the PC support features, including the stuff you'd expect, like access to all the AI upscaling tools and ray tracing features. But they also mentioned
that's what people want. I mean, yeah, but no.
stuff like built-in benchmarking tools and a wide range of support for low and medium-end systems, meaning optimization, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But another highly requested feature that's finally in Shadows is an immersive mode where you can set it so that characters actually speak their native language.
Okay, wow. If I played this on stream,
whether you're buying or selling, do it big with Auto Trader.
not sponsored. Seriously, go away.
It's just an option. Default's still English or whatever your local language is, but it's a welcome feature. I'll probably play it in English, if I'm completely honest, at least the first time. Assuming there's a second time, I'll probably go through with immersive mode. But for AC fans, Shadows sounds on paper like the game we've all been waiting for. A game set in Japan with more complex stealth systems and more visceral combat. It promises an immersive open world with things like changing seasons.
I think the one thing they can do with this game is, I don't want to say get rid of the health, because that little health bar on top of their heads just doesn't feel like Assassin's Creed. I know it's been in all of the Assassin's Creed games, just don't really feel that it is Assassin's Creed. There should be telltale signs that you physically kill yourself.
Seasons and a focus on actual investigation, where you don't just find your target simply by following a series of linear quests, but actually searching the world and discovering things naturally. On paper, sounds like the dream Assassin's Creed game, right? But what matters is the implementation. We've seen Ghost of Tsushima already, for one. In a lot of ways, I am describing Ghost of Tsushima. On that same hand, it's also pretty hard not to be cynical about a new game from Ubisoft, which is one of the most cynical game developers out there. But from everything I have seen, this new game does look like a genuine step up for the series. Perhaps even a big one, but whether it's big enough is yet to be seen. A lot of what they've shown so far is pretty exciting. Almost all the changes to stealth sound like huge improvements. Finally being able to hide in darkness, noise being a concern with things like creaky floors, and being able to crawl and go prone.
That's pretty cool.
It's all very intriguing, and these are long requested changes. You can put out lights, like in Splinter Cell.
Yay!
Or even just stuff that existed on PlayStation and Nintendo 64. I don't know why, for whatever reason, you can't put lights out. I don't understand that. I like that you're going to be able to do it here, though. There's servant NPCs. They'll run and call guards if they see you. It all sounds a lot more complex. And even, like I kind of mentioned, old school. Like, there's stuff here that reminds me of, like, PlayStation 1 N64 to PlayStation 2 and GameCube era stuff. I like that. Combat looks...
I think what he's not saying, but I personally feel we need to allude to that a little loudly. And I think I remember playing Splinter Cell. I think it was Chaos Theory. And using the little gadget at the bottom of the pistol to basically turn the cameras off and the lights can get disconnected that way. Thinking to myself, this is amazing. Like, and Chaos Theory was a game from a long time ago. This isn't Chaos Theory. I'll be fair on that. But the fact that you can do things that you could have done many years ago, I'm happy with that.
more intense here too. They're clearly taking inspiration from, and I mentioned this already, the more fast and brutal fights of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
I do kind of think they realized they were out Assassin's Creeded by that game, but they aren't just trying to, copy that. They're also giving us a much wider array of weapons to play with, which potentially I think makes that fast and brutal combat a lot cooler sounding. The thing a lot of people still aren't entirely sold on are the split protagonists. There's Naoe, the shinobi, and Yasuke, the samurai. Naoe basically plays like your old school AC protagonist where he's sneaking around rooftops, sneakily stabbing people. Well, Yasuke is a big bruiser who sucks at stealth, but excels at combat. It's an interesting concept, and from all the...
I don't think it's an interesting concept, I just don't think it fits. And that's what people don't like. And I'm gonna say, it's got nothing to do with the color of his skin. He could have been a big burly China dude, and it would have not mattered at all, because Assassin's Creed is not about big burly dudes. It's about finessing, style, accuracy, thoughts. You take Ezio, you take Connor, you take you can take Altair even. Altair was a thin dude. You can take... I think the only one that I could say was kind of a bigger type of guy was the one where you also like commanded a ship, but it's not Black Flag. It was an in-between game. But you were technically a Templar in that game. That guy was kind of big, but the rest of them, they're thinner guys. Even the Greek guy, I think it's called not Syndicate. Yeah, but they tried this formula before. Now that I think about it, where they had obviously a boy and a girl. The girl was a bit more finessey, more active about movement and those sort of things, and that was in Syndicate because I said it. I remember, and it's like, yeah. I liked playing Syndicate, but believe it or not, I like playing Syndicate with the chick, not with the dude, because the dude with that burly boxing and slapping around with just didn't.
Previews, I actually respect they're trying to make each character actually play differently rather than just be reskins.
Failure with your blood. You will have to spill it first.
But also, Yasuke, the sort of big bruiser style, it makes the game sound less interesting mechanically.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's the truth, of course. But Naoe gets access to all the cool ninja tools, like a grappling hook. She can run on walls, hide in tight spaces, all these interesting tricks.
I'm guessing that their goal is to have like a ninja and a samurai.
Well, Yasuke allegedly can just kill stuff better. He's the melee guy. It's like Ubisoft is afraid to make a game where you just play as a ninja in Assassin's Creed. They have to have a warrior in there somewhere for people who want to run around killing everything without having to worry about the boring stealth crap, which I mean, to at least some extent I get. I do kind of understand the thought process here. I don't hate the idea of getting the options. I just worry about one of those options making it so that the development of both of those options was effort diverted that could have been put into one thing that would have been better. I guess if Naoe is fantastic, it doesn't really matter to me. That's who I will play as. And to be frank, Yasuke does at least seem to have some interesting skills. He can smash through walls, for instance. He can shoulder check enemies off cliffs. Got a more traditional combat system with the parry and block button. He's got access to a traditional samurai sword, along with some bigger weapons like the naginata and the kanabo, the giant cudgel that can smash through armor with ease. Yasuke might sound a little bit like easy mode even, but they're attempting to balance him out by making it so he absolutely sucks at stealth. Climbing is slow and awkward, and don't even think about trying to use tight ropes because they're just going to snap with the weight. His animations play up the fact that he is not built for stealth, which is both kind of interesting and potentially pretty limiting. His stealth basically begins and ends with the bow, which is a silent kill weapon that he has access to that Naoe doesn't. She can be worse than
A ninja without a bow. I mean, fair enough. I think I'm going to stop there because I agree, but I also have a lot of opinions on Assassin's Creed moving in this direction. Just don't feel it. That's just an honest opinion. I think if they do go out of their way to really, really successfully create this game into what I kind of feel. Not just Assassin's Creed, but also just a good overall game. Let's just be serious about it. 10 or 15 seconds. That'll end up meaning that we're going to be moving back to that game and we're going to be enjoying that game again. What bothers me is that they couldn't make. I can't remember the game. Ubisoft made a first person shooter game that everyone should have liked. They did, but it didn't succeed. I think people are just tired of what was Ubisoft greediness, and they're done with that. They're done with that. I don't see this game making record sales early on, but I do see this game still making good sales and possibly saving Ubisoft. The one thing Ubisoft shouldn't do is sell out to Microsoft, because that's the next big move. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. That's my opinion.